In Formula One, sometimes the best way to pass someone isn't even on the track, it's in the pit lane. The undercut is basically a 200 IQ move where you outsmart your rival instead of just overtaking them. It's not about being the fastest, it's about being the sneakiest. Let me show you how it works. Alex and Ben are racing in a Grand Prix, both on soft tires. Alex leads by just half a second. One lap on old worn tires takes about 60 seconds, but on brand new tires a lap only takes 58 seconds. That's already a 2-second advantage every lap. A pit stop costs everyone about 20 seconds. Both of them know their soft tires are about to turn into cheese after 23 laps. But instead of waiting, Ben decides to pit first. He loses 20 seconds swapping tires, comes out with fresh boots, and now he's 20.5 seconds behind Alex. At first it appears that Ben has lost out badly, but the magic starts happening. Alex is still out there with his old tires doing laps in 60 seconds. Ben, with his fresh tires, is doing 58-second laps. After one lap, Alex does a 60-second lap and Ben does a 58-second lap. Boom, Ben's only 18.5 seconds behind now. Another lap, same story. The gap continues to narrow, now standing at 16.5. Ben's basically speed running the catch-up. Now Alex finally gives in and pits. He loses his 20 seconds, just like Ben did. But plot twist, when Alex comes back out, Ben's already made up so much time on those fresh laps that Alex is now 3.5 seconds behind. Ben just pulled the Uno reverse card. It's essentially strategic passing without overtaking on the track. The undercut works best at tracks like Spain or Hungary, where tire degradation is high and creates major speed differences. Teams also use it when they're stuck behind a slower car that's defending hard. At Monaco though, tire wear is basically non-existent because the streets are so smooth. So yeah, the undercut still works, but it's way less cracked. You gotta dodge traffic and nail the timing or it's game over. And honestly, it doesn't always work out. And if you pit early and get stuck behind a train of slow cars, you can kiss that speed advantage goodbye. Safety cars? They'll ruin your whole plan by bunching everyone up. And if your pit crew fumbles and takes more than 3 or 4 seconds, the whole strategy is dead on arrival. The overcut is basically the undercut's evil twin. It's one of those strategies that makes you look like a genius when it works. Instead of pitting early like everyone expects, you stay out longer and use those extra laps to build a gap that puts you ahead when you finally stop. It's like playing hard to get, but with tires. Car A pits on lap 20 for fresh rubber and spends 20 to 25 seconds in the pit lane, just sitting there while you're still flying around the track. Meanwhile, you stay out in car B until lap 25 or even lap 30, still racing on those older tires that everyone thinks are done for. During those extra laps, you're banking serious time because you're still moving while car A is getting its tires changed. Plus your car gets lighter as it burns fuel, which makes you faster lap after lap. It's like getting a speed boost in a video game, except it's physics doing the work. If car A comes out behind slower traffic after their stop, they're basically stuck while you're cruising in clean air, racking up even more time. When you finally decide to pit on lap 25, you've built up enough of a gap to come out ahead of them. Boom! Position gained without even trying to overtake. The overcut works like magic at tracks like Monaco, where tire degradation is minimal and you can stay out 10 to 15 laps longer without your pace falling off a cliff. You need those older tires to hold up though, and clean air is absolutely crucial. But nothing's guaranteed in F1. If your tires fall off too quickly, you'll lose more time per lap than you gain by staying out. Safety cars can also completely destroy the strategy by bunching up the field and erasing any advantage you've built. The overcut is way harder to execute than the undercut, but when teams nail the timing, it's incredibly effective and makes for some seriously satisfying racing. The one-stop strategy is exactly what it sounds like, and it's basically the ultimate gamble in Formula One. Instead of stopping 2 or 3 times like everyone else, you make just one pit stop during the entire race and hope your tires don't completely give up on you. It's high-risk, high-reward territory. Start on one set of tires, pit once to switch compounds, and finish the race on those tires. Simple in theory, absolutely nerve-wracking in practice. This strategy works best on tracks with low tire degradation, when teams expect a stable race with no crashes or safety cars disrupting the proceedings. One-stops are less common because they rely on your tires lasting way longer than they probably should. If they hold up, you gain 20 to 25 seconds every time someone else pits. If they don't, you're basically crawling around getting passed by everyone like you're driving in reverse. Mid-grade drivers love this strategy because it's their best shot at climbing the order, especially when they're not fighting for wins anyway. The tire choice is crucial too. Teams typically start on medium tires for that sweet balance of speed and durability, then switch to hard tires for the longer final stint. In the 2022 Canadian Grand Prix, a one-stop could involve starting on mediums for 22 to 28 laps, then switching to hards to finish. The hard compound is tough and consistent, perfect for long stints, but it wasn't the most popular choice during that race. George Russell absolutely nailed this at Miami in 2022. He started 12th, made his one stop during a safety car period, which saved even more time, and then managed those tires for over 30 laps. He finished 5th. That's a 7-position jump from strategy alone. However, if your tires fall off or safety cars emerge at the wrong time, you're essentially done for. It's like betting everything on one hand in poker. The two-stop strategy is the bread and butter of Formula One, and there's a reason most teams default to this approach. You pit twice during the race, giving you 3 separate stints with fresher rubber, which means faster lap times throughout. Sure, you spend more time in the pits, but it's the perfect balance between speed and flexibility. Each stop costs you 20 to 25 seconds, so that's 40 to 50 seconds total just sitting in the pit lane. Sounds like a lot, but those fresh tires every 20 to 25 laps means you can push harder and maintain a competitive pace throughout the entire race. Additionally, teams can adjust their strategy if conditions change or safety cars are deployed to shake things up. This strategy works like a charm at tracks that are tough on tires, such as Bahrain, where abrasive surface and heavy braking zones quickly destroy the rubber. Teams also switch to 2 stops when the weather changes or crashes mess up their original game plan. The first stop typically occurs around lap 15 to 20. Depending on the track, with the second stop coming after the midpoint when the tires start to wear out. Teams often start on softs for maximum grip off the line, then switch to mediums for the middle stint, and finish on mediums or hards. In Bahrain, teams transitioned from soft to hard, then back to soft or medium settings for the final push. It's all about matching the right compound to the right stint length while keeping your speed up throughout the race. If your crew is slow or you get stuck behind slower cars after pitting, you lose positions fast. Safety cars can help by bunching up the field, but they can also completely destroy your strategy if they come out at the wrong time. 2 stops give you options, and in Formula One, options are everything. You can adapt, react, and keep fighting for position throughout the entire race. A multi-stop strategy involves 3 or more pit stops, and it's basically the Formula One equivalent of going all in. It's rare because each stop adds 20 to 25 seconds of lost time, but when it works, it can create some absolutely insane racing. This is for teams with fast cars that can use fresh tires to set ridiculous lap times. Teams bust out multi-stops on tracks like Suzuka, Silverstone, and Imola, places with fast corners and rough surfaces that chew through tires like they're made of paper. It's also an option for teams starting further back who need to take massive risks to climb the order. This only works if you have serious pace though. Slower cars can't make up the time lost in those extra stops, so they're essentially throwing away their chance to win. Teams often cycle between soft and medium tires to maximize speed throughout each stint. A classic 3-stop might involve softs, mediums, softs, and mediums again. Michael Schumacher's 4-stop strategy in the 2004 French Grand Prix is legendary. Ferrari pitted him 4 times, using fresh tires to keep his lap times blazing fast. Despite spending way more time in the pits, he overtook his rivals and won the race. But they allowed refueling back then, which made multi-stops way more viable. Now it's much trickier. Multi-stops are incredibly risky due to the significant amount of time spent in the pits. You need perfect execution and a car fast enough to make up the lost time every single stint. Safety cars can completely ruin the plan by closing gaps, and the tire reliability limits the number of stops that are actually practical. When multiple stops work though, they make races absolutely electric. Fresh tires mean drivers can push to the absolute limit and make some seriously daring overtakes. It's high risk, high reward racing for teams with total confidence in their pace. Safety cars are like plot twists in Formula One races, and they can completely flip the script in seconds. When something dangerous happens on track, a crash, debris, or sketchy weather, out comes the safety car to slow everyone down and bunch up the field. It's usually a modified Mercedes or Aston Martin that leads the pack at a crawling pace while marshals clean up the mess. The safety car basically puts the race on pause. Nobody can overtake, lap times are way slower, and all those gaps you've worked hard to build or close just disappear. This can be a blessing or a curse depending on where you are. During safety car periods, pit stops become golden opportunities. Normally, a pit stop costs 20 to 25 seconds because other cars are flying by at race speed, but under the safety car, everyone's crawling along, so you lose way less time. sometimes just a few seconds. Teams have to make split-second decisions when that safety car comes out. The big question is always, pit or stay out? If your tires are worn out, pitting for fresh ones is tempting because new rubber can give you a massive advantage when the race restarts. But if your tires are still decent, staying out might keep you ahead. If you're leading or near the front, you might stay out to hold your spot since pitting could drop you behind rivals who don't pit. If you're further back, pitting for fresh tires could help you attack when racing goes green again. Timing matters too. If there are only a few laps left, pitting might not be worth it since you won't have time to use those fresh tires. But if there's still plenty of racing left, fresh rubber could be huge. Safety car periods force teams to think fast, adapt their plans, and take massive risks. A smart move can steal a win, while a bad call can cost you the podium. Weather can completely flip an F1 race on its head, turning what should be a straightforward Sunday drive into absolute chaos. Rain is the ultimate game changer because it makes the track slippery as ice, forcing teams to make split-second decisions about which tires to use and when to switch them. F1 has 3 main tire types for different conditions. Dry tires called slicks that are incredibly grippy on dry pavement but useless in rain. Intermediate tires for light rain or drying tracks, and full wet tires for heavy rain with deep grooves to clear water. The problem is timing. Switch too early and you're sliding around on the wrong compound. Wait too long and you're losing seconds per lap while everyone else is flying past. It's like trying to predict the future, except the future involves cars going 200 miles per hour in the rain. When weather shifts, teams rely on a mix of high-tech data and pure gut instinct. Before the race, they check detailed weather reports, trying to predict when rain might hit. During the race, they get live updates from meteorologists at the track and feedback from drivers who can feel exactly how much grip they're getting. A driver might radio, "It's getting slippery out here," and that's the cue to consider intermediates. Engineers watch radar and monitor what rival teams are doing, balancing massive risk and reward with every decision. One corner of the track might be bone dry, while another section is getting hammered by rain. Drivers have to navigate this while going flat out, giving constant feedback to their teams about grip levels. Weather strategies are all about reacting to changing conditions with the right tire choice at exactly the right moment. Get it right, and you can rock it from the back to the front. Get it wrong, and you're sliding off into the barriers while everyone else drives away.